The 19th century was an age of transformation. Steam engines roared across railroads. Telegraph wires carried messages across continents. The horse and carriage still ruled the streets, but something remarkable was stirring in workshops and barns across America. It was an age of experimenters, inventors, dreamers who believed that motion could be harnessed without the need for horses. The idea of a self-propelled carriage, an automobile, was no longer fantasy. It was becoming reality. In this documentary, we journey back into the final decades of the 19th century, when a handful of machines paved the way for the automobile industry that would define America in the 20th century. These 5 vehicles, the Roper Steam Carriage, the Duryea Motor Wagon, the Haynes-Apperson, the Studebaker Electric, and the Winton Motor Carriage, were more than machines. They were sparks that ignited a revolution. In the 1860s, in Roxbury, Massachusetts, an inventive man named Sylvester H. Roper built something extraordinary. Known today as the Roper Steam Carriage, it is one of the earliest American automobiles ever created. Roper had been fascinated by steam since childhood. While most inventors were working on locomotives or stationary steam engines, Roper dared to dream smaller, a self-propelled carriage that could travel the streets. His steam carriage, built around 1863, looked like a traditional buggy but had a compact steam engine tucked beneath its frame. It could reach speeds of about 15 to 20 miles per hour, astonishing in an era when horses averaged less than 10. What made Roper remarkable was not only his engineering but his vision. He believed steam power could replace horses in daily travel. Yet, his invention was far ahead of its time. Roads were rough. Steam boilers were heavy and dangerous. Society was not yet ready. By the late 1860s, Roper even experimented with 2-wheeled steam cycles, predecessors to the motorcycle. He died in 1896 while testing one, fittingly, behind the handlebars of his own creation. Though the Roper Steam Carriage never entered mass production, it symbolized the first step in America's automotive journey. It showed that machines, not horses, could command the road. Chapter 2, the Duryea Motor Wagon, 1893 to 1895. If Roper planted the seed, the Duryea brothers watered it. In Springfield, Massachusetts, Charles and Frank Duryea built what is widely considered the first successful gasoline-powered automobile in America. Charles, an engineer, and Frank, a mechanic, combined their skills to create the Duryea Motor Wagon in 1893. Unlike Roper's steam carriage, this machine ran on a single-cylinder gasoline engine, delivering around 4 horsepower. In 1895, history was made. Frank Duryea drove their motor wagon to victory in America's first-ever automobile race, held in Chicago. The race was brutal. Snow, mud, and mechanical failures plagued competitors, but the Duryea prevailed, cementing its place in history. Following this triumph, the Duryea brothers established the Duryea Motor Wagon Company in 1995, America's first automobile manufacturing company. They built about 13 vehicles by hand, each one a pioneer in its own right. Though their partnership was short-lived due to personal disputes, the impact of the Duryea Motor Wagon was monumental. It proved gasoline cars could work. It proved they could win races. And it proved there was a market for automobiles in America. The age of the gasoline car had begun. Chapter 3, the Haynes-Apperson, 1894. While the Duryea brothers worked in Massachusetts, another inventor in Indiana was chasing the same dream. In 1894, Elwood Haynes, a brilliant inventor and chemist, joined forces with the Apperson brothers, skilled mechanics, to create what became the Haynes-Apperson automobile. Haynes had already made his fortune in natural gas and metallurgy, but his true fascination was with self-propelled vehicles. His gasoline-powered car, completed in July 1894, is one of the earliest automobiles built in America. Unlike the rough prototypes of others, the Haynes-Apperson was sturdy and reliable. It could reach speeds of up to 7 miles per hour, modest by modern standards, but impressive for the time. The partnership flourished for several years. By 1898, the Haynes-Apperson Company was producing cars commercially, making it one of the first sustained automobile manufacturers in the United States. Elwood Haynes later went on to found the Haynes Automobile Company, while the Apperson brothers established the Apperson Automobile Company. Both continued to innovate into the early 20th century. The legacy of Haynes-Apperson is not only in its machines, but in its vision, that cars were not curiosities or racing machines, but practical tools for everyday life. Chapter 4. The Studebaker Electric Car, 1897. Not all of America's earliest automobiles ran on steam or gasoline. For a brief but fascinating period, electricity held the spotlight. The Studebaker Brothers Manufacturing Company, already famous for making wagons and carriages, saw the future arriving at the turn of the century. In 1897, they introduced the Studebaker Electric Car. Unlike the noisy, smoke-belching gasoline engines of the time, the Studebaker Electric was quiet, clean, and easy to operate. Wealthy urban buyers loved it. It required no cranking, no gears, and no handling of gasoline or oil. By the late 1890s and early 1900s, electric cars were considered the ideal city vehicle, particularly for women drivers who preferred their simplicity. Studebaker's reputation as a quality carriage maker gave them an advantage in building stylish, reliable electric vehicles. However, the limitations of batteries soon became clear. Electric cars struggled with range and speed. As gasoline engines improved, offering greater distances and cheaper refueling, electrics faded from dominance. Yet, the Studebaker Electric remains an essential chapter in automotive history. It proves that the dream of electric mobility was alive more than a century before Tesla, and that America's auto industry was experimenting with multiple paths to the future. Chapter 5. The Winton Motor Carriage, 1897. If the Duryea brothers built the first gasoline car, and Haynes made it practical, Alexander Winton made it desirable. A Scottish immigrant turned bicycle manufacturer, Winton founded the Winton Motor Carriage Company in Cleveland, Ohio. In 1897, he built one of America's first cars, designed specifically for sale to the public. The Winton Motor Carriage was elegant, powerful, and fast for its time. In 1898, Winton sold his first car, making it one of the earliest recorded automobile sales in American history. One of his customers was James Ward Packard. Dissatisfied with his Winton, Packard went on to start his own car company, the legendary Packard Motor Company. In this way, Winton indirectly sparked the birth of another great American brand. Winton also made headlines with long-distance journeys. In 1899, he drove a Winton car from Cleveland to New York City, proving that automobiles could handle serious travel. By the early 1900s, Winton was producing hundreds of cars annually, making him one of the first true automobile mass producers in America, a precursor to Henry Ford's assembly line revolution. Conclusion. The Roper Steam Carriage, the Duryea Motor Wagon, the Haynes-Apperson, the Studebaker Electric, the Winton Motor Carriage. 5 machines, each different in design and power, but united by a single vision: freedom of motion. Roper proved that machines could move without horses. Duryea proved gasoline cars could win races and capture the imagination. Haynes-Apperson proved cars could be reliable and built for everyday life. Studebaker proved electricity could rival gasoline. Winton proved that cars could be sold, marketed, and desired by the public. Together, these pioneers shaped the foundation of an industry that would transform America and the world. By 1900, fewer than 8,000 cars existed in the United States. By 1920, there were more than 8 million. The journey from steam to gasoline to electric was not just about machines. It was about daring to imagine a different future. The 19th century gave us the first cars. The 20th century would give us highways, factories, and global empires of steel and rubber. And the 21st century, once again, returns us to the electric dream first glimpsed in the 1890s. The story of America's first automobiles is not just history, it is prophecy. For every car we drive today, every road we travel, carries within it the legacy of those first 5 machines. The bold dreams of inventors who believed that wheels could spin without horses and that progress itself could ride on 4 tires.